Hello and welcome back, everyone. Episode 4, Slim, Slam, and the Bandwagon fan. I'm Slim. To my right, that's Slam, and to my left, we all love him. We've come to love him anyway. The Bandwagon fan, Schnazi. How we feeling tonight, mate?
Mate, honoured to be here tonight.
Honoured. I love that. And Chucky, how we doing, mate? Good?
Mate, thrilled. Can't wait to crack into the West.
I know we have plenty to say about the West.
Oh,
our
boy.
Favourite
It's going to be a good one.
Our favourite Suns lie in that division.
So-
there's a fair bit to get through, though, before we get to the Chiefs.
I reckon we draw the start of the show out as much as we can.
Yep.
We'll hit the stock exchange.
Yep.
We'll give probably a lot of the show to the NFC West.
Okay.
And then the AFC might just skip through it because no one cares about it.
I'm not very confident that the powers that be will allow that to happen, but we can see. We'll see.
There's no way.
No way whatsoever. But hey, let's jump into the stock exchange straight off the rip here. We're talking rookies this week.
Yeah.
And I think there's plenty to learn if you're new to the NFL about the kind of connection between college football and NFL, and that kind of jump can be made to look simple by some, and others will struggle. And that's what we're going to kind of have a look at tonight. So first of all, the blue chip stocks this year. We're looking at some guys that are going to get plenty of game time and are looking pretty universally liked to be, breakout kind of stars in the league. That being, of course, Joe Burrow features in that list. We've also written down here, we've got
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Tua, and we've also got JT down at Indianapolis running the
CD
ball.
Lamb as well.
And CD Lamb, your boy Schnazi.
CD player.
So they're the 5 blue chips that we're rocking with. Now, I'm going to go to you first, Chucky, as I like to do.
Yep.
It makes me feel safe.
No
If you're going to sell one of those blue chippies and then maybe bring in a penny stock along the way, how good am I going with the stock exchange tonight, boys?
Mate,
Fucking
it's
hell.
massive improvements from week one.
That's
There's no
right.
doubt about
All right.
that.
So if you're going to sell a
Counting
blue
up
chip,
chickens before the hatch, yeah.
if you're going to sell a blue chip, Chucky, who are you getting rid of, mate?
Well, this might upset a few people, Blaze, but I'm going the top one.
You're going the big ticket item.
I'm going to take out the favourite for
Top
the
shelf.
offensive rookie of the year, Joe Burrow, because I just think there's going to be some learning curve there. I also think he's probably got the least talent around him out of those other players that we mentioned.
Okay. Yep.
And often if you're chucked in the deep end at quarterback straight away, unless you're an absolute freak, you might have some teething problems.
Well,
So he's the one I'd get rid of. I think the other blokes are probably more likely to win Rookie of the Year.
yep.
And the one I'm going to bring in is Brandon Ayuk, who was drafted.
Tell us a little bit
So
about
he was
it.
drafted at wide receiver by the 49ers. What pick did I have that at? He was picked 25, so they
Yeah,
traded up.
late
So they ended up
first.
having two
First round.
first rounders.
Yep.
But
Yep.
so yeah, wide receiver there in the first round, and obviously Sanders is gone, as well as Debo's injured, so he could have a pretty good first year up, and I
Some
think
good
they'll
targets
use him in really creative ways as well. He won't be just a wide receiver. They'll
That's
probably
how
use him.
Debo kind of broke out, didn't
Yeah,
he? 'Cause he was
massively.
getting the running, he was getting the catching, and he was doing all kinds of funky stuff. Schnazi, your turn, my friend. Blue chips, are you moving anyone on, or are you going to stick to your guns with old CD Lamb
Well,
down
I'm
in Dallas
definitely
land?
not moving a QB1 on. That is ridiculous. That is outrageous. And it is outright stupid. You're telling me you're going to move on a guy who is a QB1 as opposed to Tua, who won't even be starting come week 1. Outrageous, stupid, and dumb.
I'm just saying, if Tua gets the job in week 4, his next 12 weeks might be better than what you see out of Burrow for the whole 16 weeks.
That remains to be seen, and I mean we're edging closer and closer to games, and these kind of comments are going to get brought to the front.
Slammers guarantee,
And
Joe Burrow will not be Rookie of the Year.
I'm going to look to potentially expose a few of those guarantees because I'm getting a bit jack about it. I don't know about you, Schnars, but there's just a whole lot of this going on, and not a hell of a lot of weight behind it just yet.
Hey, hang on. That's an unsolicited fact.
Tell you what, there's plenty of weight behind.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Anyway, who you dropping,
This
Schnars?
man a body bag. Holy shit!
In line with what I just said, I won't be getting rid of a QB1, so I'll be getting rid of a QB2.
Yep.
And that is Slam's man Tua.
Tua.
I'll be selling him off, and I'll be bringing in an LA Ram, who I'm a bit hot on, which we
Rama.
might speak about a bit later tonight.
Yep.
And that's Cam Akers.
Yes. Okay.
So
Position, Schnazzy? What?
running back.
Running back.
So
okay.
he's out of Florida State. Believe he was the 4th running back taken around that 52.
Yep,
I'll have to
yep.
check my notes. 52 in the draft.
Right.
Fun fact about Akers. Broke Dalvin Cook's freshman year running back yards total.
That is
Just
right out of the
freshman year,
vault.
though.
That is.
Is that at Florida State?
At Florida
Yeah,
State.
yeah.
So just team
just
team
not-
record.
not-
That is deep in the record books, though. You pulled that out of the ether.
Yeah, I went deep.
That's
I went
good.
real
That's
deep.
real good.
Deep. So I'm excited to see him play. The Rams, obviously trading on Gurley. He's
Yeah.
going to be coming right in.
There's a hole there to fill.
Body of work into
Yep.
him. Goff was a bit questionable, which we might speak about a bit later with the ball in the air
Yeah.
last year. So
Yep.
He should have a similar role to Clyde, really.
Oh,
He'll
exactly.
be getting most of the ball from the backfield there at LA. So that's a good pick by you.
Perfect fit.
Great
Perfect
setup.
fit. So,
Great setup. And it's a great place to play footy. I know you got Sean McVay there who, everyone talks a bit about Shanahan at San Francisco for the creative mind. He's probably the topical guy at the moment, but McVay was doing that the year before as well. And really, if he can scheme some real big plays for Akers, he could be looking at a good... I mean, that's why Gurley was obviously a freak athlete, but he was in a great situation to be a running back as well.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That's all coming up and remains to be seen as we edge ever closer to the start of the NFL season, which I know everyone's starting to get that little tingly feeling. It's building. We've only got 2 divisions left to go, and we've really had a good time so far.
And the 2 best divisions
in football, and arguably the better division than the AFC West would be the NFC West. I think from top to bottom, they are a serious division. And I think we're going to start with them because I know we're going to look to suck up a little bit of time at the tail end there with the Chief boys. So
if I can help it.
Let's jump into the NFC West. And Chucky, as I mentioned earlier, I will go to you first.
Smart.
Who have you going top of the NFC West?
So we're matching here again, which is always nice to start.
Love
because
that.
It's pretty
Synergy.
much... Oh no, we've both obviously got the Chiefs winning, but this is the only one we've got the same in the NFC West, and that's who we've got winning it. So we've both got the Niners winning it. I've got them going 13-3. Shanazi has them going 12-4, and that's
another
in line.
good year.
That's in line with the fans, who 65% had them going over 11.5 wins.
That's why we love you, fans.
Love the fans.
So smart.
So according to both of us, pretty good years ahead for the 49ers.
Pretty comfortable. Let's just give us quickly your ins and outs, and then we'll chuck to Schnazi and listen to what he's got to say.
So they had a massive in. They got Trent Williams in at left tackle from Washington.
Huge.
He'd sat out a lot of last year because he did not want to play for Washington anymore, which is fair enough.
Yep. No, he's not alone in that.
Health all good now?
Yeah, I think his health's fine. He was
cancer.
Oh, really?
Nah, he was fine. He could have played last year. He chose not to.
But originally wasn't he misdiagnosed, which led this whole debacle with the Washington football team?
It's hard to say without knowing for
there
sure.
was something he could have been playing the last half of last year. He just chose to sit out. He's got a lot. He had a lot of
his money.
Yeah, but he also had a lot of issues with the
Can't blame him for that.
with the board there and stuff, and he just was happy.
I think
he was
a lot
not
of people
happy and he
got
wanted
issues
out.
with the board there.
Yeah, I think he's not
true.
alone.
The other interesting one that they picked up, which is it's not a massive name, but Tavon Austin. He's now on his 3rd team after he was at what was St. Louis, and then he was at Dallas for a while. And you'd obviously, if you know much about NFL, you'd be sitting there thinking, Tavon Austin, like, why are you even bringing it up? But I think it's an interesting one at San Francisco because I think if ever his career is going to finally take off and flourish, I think in this system and the way that Shanahan does create plays and do things like that, I think this could be the place that his career actually does take off.
I don't mind that. Schnazi, do you have any question marks around Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback? I mean, they got raised in that playoff run last year. I mean, it was the running game that got him there, and it came down to Jimmy trying to win him the game, and he overthrew Sanders. Do you have question marks going into this year for them with him at the helm?
I do.
Yeah.
I'll touch on that.
Yeah.
But the first thing I want to almost compare him to is the Rams the season before.
Right.
Will they have a hangover?
Yeah.
You know, plenty of these teams, it's very... Like, you never see back-to-back teams, especially 2 teams making the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So this year, my 2 favourite teams are the Chiefs and the Niners to go all the way.
Yeah.
You know, Baltimore... bit suspect on Lamar still, like actually having
no
that
real
pedigree to win.
No real playoff success yet.
The Niners should be, you would think, and I would have said the same thing this time last year about the Rams. They'd be better for making it last year, and this year will be their year. But, you know, there's a such thing as, you know, you win it, premiership hangover, you lose it. You know, do you count your chickens too early and say, oh, we're just one player away, and you put all your time and effort into that one player.
Yeah, 100%.
And, you know, developing your game just a little bit, and you actually end up going further back because you forget to fix other holes in your team.
Yeah,
I do think that they were more of a complete team to begin with than the Rams were the season before, though.
Yeah, their defense last year at the Niners,
insane.
unreal.
and that's why win championships, and they always say that, unless you've got a certified jet at QB.
Unless you come up against something
and that's
out of this world.
Leads right into your point here about Jimmy Garoppolo. And I'm not sold on him.
No.
He's a bit of a game manager. There's a bit of Alex Smith about that.
Nothing wrong with that, but
his reputation precedes him.
Yeah.
He came out.
Well,
of
he's
this...
a very, very good-looking man, Schnars. No homo, but that's. Just
I think if he wasn't, if he wasn't at New England and hadn't come with that pedigree of they were potentially going to move on Brady for him, I don't think the hype around him would be anywhere near as large as what it is.
Probably fair.
This is a little bit off topic, but I reckon Bill Belichick might have a mind for hyping players up and influencing the trade
100%.
market.
Well, you got
We did the
serious
same
value.
thing. Who was the quarterback that got rid of to Indianapolis?
I was going around with what he did to the wide receiver market last year when he traded a pick 2 for Sanu and really bumped up the asking price for a good receiver.
That's
None of the other teams
They got pretty
sign
good
him.
return for Jacoby Brissett. Like,
That's right.
like that's
Yeah.
I
Who
mean-
hasn't really amounted to much.
So
no. Well, they've moved on after a year
got question
to old
marks.
man Rivers.
Question marks.
Old man Rivers.
Yeah, no Kirk Cousins.
No, that's right.
had to get
And
Dave
he's
there.
back, Kirk. Welcome
No,
back.
but I do have question marks on him. I think he's a great game manager.
Yeah.
But, does he have the ability to put his team on the back and go, like, take the team down the field for, a good drive, a game-winning drive?
If that running
Yeah.
scheme isn't clicking for you, can you trust
Yeah,
Jimmy to do it?
they're a lead from the front team. They're not a come from behind team.
Yeah.
And that was evident in the last few minutes of that Super Bowl. They're not a team that plays from behind.
And
very
that's
well,
not
'cause
an
they want to run the
indictment
ball.
necessarily, because that's
No.
what got them there in the first
No,
place.
well,
but
they ran all over people in the playoffs and just had to lead from go to woe. But if that works for you, that works for it. The interesting thing here is they actually, through some trading and things like that, they had 2 picks in the first round. They picked up Javon Kinlaw, the defensive tackle from South Carolina, as
DeForest
well
Buckner
as
replacement. Yep.
as well as Brandon Ayuk, the wide receiver out of Arizona State. So that's pretty good. You don't see too many teams make the Super Bowl and then have 2 picks in the top 25.
And keep your key pieces.
Yeah.
And I think the
Yeah,
fact
they re-signed a lot of players.
they did. And like one of the things you're aided by is, same with quarterbacks too. Good rookies coming out and having a massive impact
huge.
in your first few years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And Nick
exactly.
Bosa,
Yep.
the baby bear as he calls himself.
He's an animal.
Mate,
he is an
he-
absolute animal.
He's unreal. That Bosa family, I don't know what they feed him on the farm down there,
No.
but they are made in a lab.
Tell you what, old
Yeah.
Slimmy could do a summer down there. He'd benefit a little
Couple
bit.
of
I would've
summers, I would have
thought.
thought. but yeah.
A couple of summers?
I think they'd shut the door in your face, mate.
Calm, bro. They would,
Those kids would have been bigger than you at 8.
I'm not coming back from that.
They came out the womb bigger than you, mate.
All right.
But they only lost to Forrest Buckner and Emmanuel Sanders as well. They didn't really lose much there either.
Yeah.
So-
I'm not going to
The
continue.
nucleus
they're
of the
pretty
team,
Yeah,
is
it's
still
all
together.
intact. Yeah.
All the pieces of the puzzle are there. They should be right up there. They should be winning the division, but let's not discredit the rest of the teams in the division
And
because
speaking of, maybe we should have a look at the team that I think would be the consensus number 2, the Seattle Seahawks.
Well, apparently
not
not.
consensus in this room, mate.
Not
you're-
consensus at all.
I see. Because as the fans know, we do this off the cuff, and I hadn't actually looked at Schneider's list yet. And I'm going to continue with the Seattle Seahawks, and I'd like you to justify why you've got them 9-7 when 56% of the fans reckon they're going to win more than 11.5. Can you make a case for that?
So me making a case for it might be contradicting myself here.
Right. Okay.
But they are the most reliant on one player
Yeah.
in this division.
In this division. Yeah.
The
Almost in
Seahawks,
the NFL.
you could argue that. Didn't want to say any unsubstantiated facts. In fact, Russell Wilson, dangerous.
Yeah.
The Seahawks without Wilson are useless.
That'd be terrible.
Yeah.
They are absolutely useless. And,
I couldn't agree more with you there.
in the NFL, injuries happen a lot, especially at the quarterback position.
Oh yeah.
And he's been, pretty, he gets outside the pocket a bit.
He's got the
used
best
to a lot more.
escapability in the entire NFL.
It could all come catching up to him. And if he goes down, that team is a below 500 team.
Yeah, you're right. If he
100%.
loses a
that's
step
fair.
or two
That's
in
fair.
pace,
Yeah.
he's in trouble.
He's
Because
gonna
that
get-
offensive line does not help him
Just
at
like
all.
any good double-edged sword, though, if Russell doesn't go down,
Yeah,
Jeez,
they're a
they're
force.
nice.
They are
They
never
are
out of a
sweet.
game because, unlike Jimmy, he can come from anywhere.
yep.
And he would be,
And he is the guy, like we said, like if he walks into a room, Russ is there, even though he's only little.
Especially if he walks in with his pretty little wife.
Yeah, but like
That's good.
he
That's
he
real
can
good.
he can just he
Saw
he
right
tells
into
the
the future.
fellas he tells the fellas jump on my back and I'll take you with me.
100%.
He is that sort of player.
100%.
but and the other part I'm worried about as well, since the Legion of Boom, the Seahawks defense has dropped significantly.
No, it has.
And I
It doesn't
think
get talked about enough either. That defense has fallen away.
And now
quite
Clowney has been
substantially.
confirmed up and out of there.
Yeah, he's out.
So
He's at
he's
Tennessee.
landed in Tennessee
Tennessee.
today.
He's
So
gone.
that's making news, and I know we've already talked about the Titans, but that's going to help them a little
They
bit.
did.
I would like that.
Don't forget,
I
they
would
did
like
pick up a pretty good player on defense. The Seahawks,
that. Being-
Jamal Adams.
yes, true. Low key, that's a pretty good get.
That is a good
That's a
get,
good
and we
get.
did speak about that when we spoke about the Jets.
Yeah,
In,
it's a good
they've
get.
picked
It's
up.
a good get
They've
from the
picked up
Jets.
a top 3 strong safety in the
100%.
NFL.
100%.
Absolute freak.
And they've done that as well, as I said, shore up their defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because as I said, it's been floundering for years.
Yeah.
Since the Legion of Boom, since L. Thomas gave the famous finger when he
Yeah.
was getting carted off.
Yeah.
They also cut. I don't know if it's Shaquem or Shaquille.
Yeah.
They cut one of them.
Yeah,
the one
bandit.
that's missing a hand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Shaquem.
he's gone.
Yeah.
They made some interesting moves in the offseason, though. They bought in Greg Olsen and they bought in Carlos Hyde, so 2 veterans at tight end at running back there. Now, the Greg Olsen one for me is interesting because, like, obviously he's a bit past his best, but Russ would love to throw to a good tight end. And I think if Greg Olsen, obviously his health is a bit the issue there, but if Greg could get his fitness up and his body healthy to where it needs to be, I think, he could have a really good year with Russ as his quarterback.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, what you'll pick up in watching us over time is that we have some consistent themes. And I know we subscribe to the theory of a good quarterback needs his tight end. He needs that, both the safety net and also if you've got one of those ones that can explode and really stack yards as almost a fourth receiver.
That red zone threat.
Massive difference. And for someone like Russ that can find you, like if you're a needle and in a haystack, he's going to hit you. So
under your point earlier, Schnaz, as well, they did spend their first 2 picks in the draft on defensive players. They picked up a linebacker from Texas Tech, Jordan Brooks, at pick 27. And then at 48, they picked up Darrell Taylor, the edge. Where have I read? Oh, from Tennessee.
Yeah,
right.
So I think as well.
It's a bit of a theme there with defense. So
with what you said though, with how they've just topped up the roster with a few aged veterans, it really shows that they think they're in the window now.
Oh god, yeah.
And
but I think if you've got Russell Wilson, you should almost feel that way, shouldn't you?
Same way the Green Bay front office should be thinking.
Yeah,
but exactly. You're Aaron Rodgers and you're just going to let him flounder and.
There must be something to do with the weather in Green Bay. There must be like.
Walt
Disney's having a good time in Green Bay.
That's a throwback. Those cheese heads down there, I don't know what the hell is in that cheese, but it must be Old Blue or something like that.
I think
it ain't any good.
An interesting one to look at this year for Seattle as well. My breakout is DK Metcalf. Now, obviously,
big boy.
There was a lot of talk coming out of the combine that he was just a combine star and that it wasn't going to translate to anything on the actual field. But I think he proved most of those people wrong last year. He had a way better year than anyone was anticipating.
He had really solid numbers.
Yeah, it helps when you've got a guy, a top 2 quarterback in the league, and probably most people's opinion, throwing you the ball.
Second half
really took off.
Once he found his feet.
If he could make himself a real threat this year, between him, Greg Olsen, and whatever else they've got in that offense, I think that could be really interesting.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair.
I just want to quick disclaimer. I don't think the Seahawks are that bad. So if we compare them to AFC West, Seahawks are the second best side that would be in the AFC West.
Okay.
Which we'll get to. They're a great team. They're in a great division.
This is just the most stacked division in football.
By a mile. It might just be nature of, you got to play each of these teams twice. For those that don't know and might be new to the NFL, if you play in your division, you play each side home and away. So you play them.
That's 6 games.
So that's 6 games of your 16 are against 3 of the the top 10 teams in the NFL. I think we probably all
I'd agree with that.
Pretty close to agreeing on that, if not top 15, definitely.
Yeah.
Speaking of, how about, I know you guys are still not in line here, which is just keeping me on my toes, which I love. I'm going to go with Schnazzy this time because I've got a bit of time for the LA Rams.
Yeah.
They've got the new logo, which I know you'd love.
No, not a huge fan of it.
Well, you like new logos.
I do. I love everything logos. I love everything uniforms, and
you're off that. But that's
the logo and the uniform here has done nothing. Like the bone uniform that they're running, not white, bone. That's officially the colour name.
We could actually run our own show purely based on you critiquing uniforms.
I could do it for hours.
But no one would watch.
Because the new Rams logo sucks.
Yeah, it's not good.
It sucks.
Well, episode 1 on the Rams logo would be good.
They had such a good helmet with that little thing, and they've tried to make it too modern and too new age and sexy.
We're going down a bit of a rambling rabbit hole here.
Yeah, when you're at the cap, when you're at the salary cap, you've got to get some revenue in. And you know what? What's the easiest way to do it? We'll pay old mate down the road.
They've got 2-tone numbers on those bone Guernseys. Those numbers go halfway down the middle from yellow to blue. That's all you need to know.
I may regret setting him off on this tangent.
Yeah.
We may never come back from this
one.
So
true.
Let's actually see movies. We've never gone down the road.
Slam and the Bears Band presents Slammers uniform.
Let's actually talk some football.
All right, Rams, let's do it.
They got no ins.
They got no ins.
No ins. Sean Robinson, the defensive tackle out of Detroit, is their only in. $17 million.
What about outs? They got any outs?
Outs. They got some outs. They lost Fowler, the defensive end of Atlanta, as well as Gurley to Atlanta.
Yep.
And then they also lost Corey Littleton, the inside linebacker to Las Vegas. That was on a $35 million 3-year deal.
Not too bad.
Fowler was a $45 million 3-year deal. So they just don't have the money to compete with that. After signing
they are
Jalen Ramsey last year to that big. No, he hasn't re-signed, but
in very LA,
they just don't have any money.
In very LA fashion, it's like the bright light stars, and then
I just thought we were at like fucking race day. Oh mate, down here is calling it like they're coming down the last 100. He's lost Corey Littleton, and he's gone to the Raiders, and he's gone for $35 million over 4 years, and they've crossed the line.
We're rambling
again. How am I meant to host under these conditions, fans?
But to be honest, they've lost. They've let players go. to be able to sign players.
Yeah.
We mentioned before that
Well, they didn't sign anyone.
No, but like to maintain the
Players
people
that they'd
got.
signed on previous years. Yes.
You know, if you,
They had to renegotiate Ramsey when they got him, I think.
Ramsey's coming up.
He's coming up.
He's coming up.
He'll be
Yeah,
out,
so that'd be
yeah.
clear
So he
room
hasn't
for
even
him.
done that yet.
Yeah,
They
that's probably
got
why.
Whitworth. They got I think Michael
Re-signed
Brockers.
Whitworth, yeah.
They've obviously got Aaron Donald. So they've got the talent still. They've lost players, but it's not like they've got no talent.
No.
It's just when you get to the Super Bowl, everyone's value goes up a lot more because you play out of your skins a bit.
They're a bit lighter on receiver this year too. Cooks is gone.
They picked up the wide receiver out of Florida. I think it's Vance Jefferson, wide receiver. I was watching Hard Knocks today actually, and they're pretty hot. They seem to like what they've got there from him. They picked him up at 57, and they also obviously picked up Cam Akers, who we spoke about a little bit before, at 52.
Coming out of the backfield.
Yeah,
coming out of the backfield.
So there's a couple of little weapons
He's my breakout. I didn't really want to have any breakouts that were rookies, but it's just too obvious of a.
Yeah,
he's got to get a lot of field time.
And you got one of my favorite NFL players is Cooper Kupp.
Yes, you do like Cooper Kupp.
He's got a really good story. You know, he's
They
been
still have Robert Woods.
I can't remember. I don't think so.
I think they do. They lost one, but they lost.
They lost Cooks to Houston. Did they not? Brandon Cooks?
Yes.
Yeah.
Brandon Cooks is gone. Yes.
But yeah, Cooper Kupp with that knee injury and, you know, any kind of comeback story, as we kind of mentioned last week, we love sports stories. And I think anyone that can come back from a significant injury like that.
Any narrative.
Yeah, a narrative. And he put together a really nice year last year. And I think he's every chance to go nicely again if Goff's play can lift up a little bit.
Interesting here as well, Blaze. I don't think we mentioned it before. So I've got the Rams going 8-8, and Schnars has them going 10-6. Now, for the first time in our fan poll, we had a 50-50 split.
Oh, yes.
And the line was at 8.5. So everyone's thinking about that 8 to 9 win range there, which is not far off what Schnars and I had.
Which is, what did they go last year? They would have been around that, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
9-7.
Yeah, something like that.
So you've got to think. Everyone says they had a very bad year last year after a 9-7, being in the NFC West, bit of a hangover from the Super Bowl.
Yep.
They didn't make the playoffs. You know, they're going to go back to the drawing board, sharpen their pencils a bit, come through, only have to get one win more, and you're looking... And this division here is going to have 3 teams.
All right, well, give me your thoughts. So. Yeah, I agree with that as well. Give me your thoughts on this, Schnars. My Madden shade here. Jared Goff is rated a 76. Give me your thoughts on that.
I'm going to let Schnarzy go, but...
For mine, that seems low.
I think it's
for
low.
A bloke that got into a Super Bowl just 1 year earlier.
Yeah.
He didn't have a great year last year.
No, he didn't. But 76 does seem low. Like we've got... what you shouldn't forget here is we've got rookies coming in, and that's about the average where a rookie comes
So
in.
I'd say when we spoke about this last week, I think your shade was on Griffin III.
Yeah,
RG3.
Yeah,
and you said
66.
his was really, really low. And then we talked about how, you know, the new players coming in, they get higher ratings.
Yeah.
This bloke's been to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know, he's another...
And was he pick 1?
He was pick
2?
1.
1 or 2?
Wentz was 2.
Yeah.
Wentz was 2.
Yeah.
He's a pick 1. He's got talent. He's
So
got
arguably,
a huge contract.
his rookie Madden rating was probably higher than if he was pick 1.
Oh, his first 2 years were a joke, though.
Yeah, there was
They
nothing in
under Jeff Fisher,
Yeah.
they could not play at all. But
No, he's a very defensive
what they
minded
did
coach.
though was they kept him in there just for that transition period from St. Louis
And
to
they would
LA.
have been, like, they would have thought, and I know Goff didn't have a great year last year, but he got him to a Super Bowl, and people seem to, and I know there was no score and all the rest of it, and people can chew my ear off about that. Todd Gurley was done by the time they made that run. Like he wasn't
They
the
were
one.
flying the
Was
first,
it?
the
It
first
was
10,
Anderson
the
was
first
the
10
run.
weeks
It was
of that
Goff
year. They
and
were
the meatball.
absolutely flying.
It was Goff and the meatball CJ Anderson.
So I think
so.
He's another Garoppolo type. Like he's good. He's
Don't ask him to do too much, and
Don't
you'll probably
ask-
be
yeah,
alright.
don't
I
ask
think I'd
him
rather
to
have
ball.
Goff than Garoppolo.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so too.
I think Goff still threw a lot of nice balls last year. He just threw a lot more bad balls.
Yeah.
He struggled for consistency, but that's the league for you. I think it gets probably underestimated, like how hard it is to maintain that top tier level of play. And like you've got guys running it, you've got like this to make a decision and get the ball out, and that's an insane ability, regardless of whether we reckon you're right or not.
So I think that is huge shade.
I think it's harsh.
And I think Madden should be
as.
employing a long-haired Yahoo that is a bit overweight in Australia.
If there's any great man down south of the Australian continent, it's probably you, Chucky. You could be the great white hope
And
for that.
when
that
we get into
entire
Arizona,
game.
probably now.
Yeah.
This is
the biggest Madden shade I've ever seen.
jump into your Madden
straight
shade
into
because
it?
you've got momentum. Keep that ball rolling, baby.
Larry Legend, Larry Fitzgerald.
Yep.
One of the greatest
The
wide
greatest
receivers
hands.
of all
Oh
time.
my lordy.
83.
Joke.
83. I don't care
Absolute
how
joke.
old he is. That's bullshit. Pardon my language, but my God,
I don't think
83,
we'll even beep that
that
one.
is
I'm
not,
gonna let that one go
That
through.
is not good enough for a bloke. Now, listen to this stat.
I
Larry,
love this. I've
Larry
heard
has got less dropped catches than he does tackles when his quarterback
Has thrown an
intercepts the
interception.
ball.
That's
So when his quarterback
insanity.
throws an interception, he's tackled more blokes that have caught the ball than he's actually had balls hit his hands
That he's
he
dropped.
hasn't caught.
So in short, fans, he's tackled more people after an interception than he's dropped balls.
Yeah.
Which, if you can rationalise that in your
That
head,
is just insane.
that is an insane thing for a guy that's been playing for how many years, Chuck? 13,
Oh,
14?
15?
Yeah. Like, what?
He's amazing.
How's that even possible? I mean, that's hands like who shall not be named.
Yeah. The
that
great man.
We won't bring up
We won't bring
by
him up.
name. But
No.
he had some pretty good hands
He had
too.
some pretty
And
good
if you're at
hands.
home,
Odell Beckham?
some of the fans will know who were
HG.
a local hero of ours. But anyway, let's not give him any more time than he deserves.
The prodigy.
Larry Legend.
An 83.
Stiff.
Not good enough.
What about the Cardinals' year?
Cardinals' year?
How do we think they're
So
going
we're pretty close here, me and Schnars.
Yeah.
I've got them finishing third in the division with a record of 11-5. Schnars also has them finishing third in the division at 10-6. And now we're both the fans hate that. The fans have gone
There's no
71%
love there at all for the Cards.
I can see it though.
I can see it because they don't know what we see. I don't think, and I think you and I probably both see a good year coming for Kyler Murray.
There's
I
an-
can see the fans going second year quarterback.
It's a
might
bit of
have
a hedge.
nearly played baseball.
Yeah.
How is he going to lead a team to a 10-6 or an 11-5 record
bit
and
of a,
potentially take him to the playoffs?
It's a bit of a hedge your bets type
I'll make
situation.
a huge call here.
Okay.
I reckon,
You're prone to them. So.
I reckon Kyler Murray could be the next Russ.
So there's parallels there, definitely.
Similar size,
speed.
escapability,
It's
makes
not
plays
a
on the
huge
move.
call. I think all the analysts were doing it because they're about the same height, Russ
Yeah,
and
but to
Kyler.
get to that sort of level, I think he could end up being an absolute gun.
I think you can see the parallels in physique and play style already. It's just whether he can
He
get to
has
that consistent
seriously
level.
good arm strength too
Yeah,
for a
for a
little,
little
man.
dude.
Man.
yeah.
The leverage that you usually expect from a big guy. He's just throwing little darts in and under. That line needs to get stronger, Chuck, though, because he's only
Yes.
a little man.
Yeah.
And he
No,
was getting...
more importantly, their defense.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
Well, they did a little
But
bit.
if
In
Kyler's
the, they
your
did a little
prized
bit in the
asset, then
draft
you do
there
need
to
to
fix that
protect
up.
him.
They
You do
picked
need to
up
protect him.
probably the best defensive, not the best defensive player, but the best defensive utility because he can play a lot of different positions, and that's Isaiah Simmons out of Clemson.
Great talent.
Huge, really hot. on
Doesn't
Isaiah.
even have a
Yeah.
position. Like he lined up at like 5 or 6 different spots for Clemson.
Yep.
Over last year, he was just insane, and obviously they picked up the best wide receiver in football,
Yep.
DeAndre Hopkins.
D-Hop.
I mean, that just cannot be understated.
Yeah. So
I
you
think-
got D.
What do they call? What do they call him, Slammer? What do they call him?
Nuke.
Oh yeah, baby.
So they got D Hop, they got Larry Fitzgerald, they got Andy Isabella, they got Christian Kirk. Like they have got a pretty good wide receiver room.
Yep.
And
And
yeah,
a pretty handy quarterback.
Yeah.
Who's coming into his own a little bit.
I was still a little bit upset that they didn't take like CD Lamb or Jerry Jeudy at pick 8 there, because imagine having Fitz, D Hop, and like CD Lamb. Like that
Oh,
would have
yeah.
just been like.
There comes a point in
mind-blowing.
time where the front office just goes, the defense has to be fixed.
Yeah, we have to
Yeah.
do something
And
here.
at
But
some stage.
how cool would that have just been?
Have they brought back Chandler Jones and Patrick Peterson? This
Chandler
year?
Jones is still there and Patrick Peterson's
Yeah.
still
Okay,
there,
so they've still got some key guys. I think they just
Chandler
need-
Jones is so underrated as
Yeah.
well.
He
Gets
is.
no love.
He gets. Well, he was almost on track to break the sack record last
Yeah,
year.
very
for a little
close.
bit. So,
Very close.
Yeah, it's I mean, they've got talent there. It's about building depth, though, isn't it? Like I think that's like in any good team.
Their offense last year under Kyler in his first year was unreal.
Yeah.
You can't ask for much more. But
And you
the
inject-
amount of
you inject
shootouts they just
DeAndre.
had to get into
Yeah.
because their defense was absolutely rubbish.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Arizona of old. They're going to have to beat teams, 40 to 35.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
going to be putting up a lot of. You're going to be
And
giving
he-
up a lot of points.
Yeah.
You're going to be needing to put up a lot.
I mean,
That's
the ball,
why Kyler's
the ball
my
was it.
breakout star, and I think
Yeah.
that's obvious.
Oh, 100%. I think that you won't get many complaints. In that hot Phoenix, Arizona air,
Yeah,
just watching
indoors.
Kyler zip around and just throw that thing.
University
They're going to
of
be,
Glendale,
if you're
Arizona.
looking at a team, I don't know how many people are watching that don't have a team yet. The Cardinals would be one of those
Great one to
ones
hop onto,
that
yeah.
would be really fun and really interesting to follow. It's certainly in the next 2-3 years, they might really come on into. And you've just got the best wide receiver in football
Yeah.
to watch catch footies.
they need
every
to
week.
come
So
on though in the next 2 years. They need to
You've said it before.
It's
those rookie
imperative
deals.
that you come on while you're quarterback. You end up going to paying
Yeah.
outrageous amount of money too.
Yeah.
They need to be
good in the
coming
next
on
2 or 3
in that
years.
3 to 4 year, in that 3rd or 4th year of their.
Can I get an amen? That's massive.
And so-
That's so true.
They need to sign something on D. Like this is why I can probably see some questions which the fans had. We've talked about Kyler, and we think he's better than sliced bread over here. But then we know their defense, needs a lot of work.
Yep.
We know
Yep.
they're in a great division, so that's why the fans would be thinking under. But as Sam and I have said, mate, we are buying stock. If this was a stock exchange, we would be buying.
I'd be buying Cardinals hard.
We're all excited.
Blaze, I think we're there, though.
We are.
I think it's time.
Well, this
has been Slim Slam and the Bandwagon fan. Thanks for watching.
It's been 3 episodes.
7 divisions.
3.5 episodes.
Far
in
too
the
long.
making. And we finally get the chance to talk about our baby,
The Super Bowl champs.
the Kansas City Chiefs.
Kansas City Chiefs, baby!
Oh, we've got nothing but love for the Kansas City Chiefs. I think what could be said that hasn't been said in passing in the last 3 episodes anyway. But let's start at the top and work our way down. Patrick Mahomes.
Super Bowl champs!
15 has the cannon arm, escapability like Russ, bravery like Braveheart. That's so bad.
You looking for William Wallace there?
I was looking for something. I'm glad you jumped in because I was drawing a blank. If you, like we said about the Cardinals, if you like NFL, if you want to watch entertaining games, tune into a Chiefs game because
I'm getting sweaty.
You've got weapons everywhere. And Chucky, maybe just run through some of those
You're wearing
weapons.
shorts.
God.
Run through some of those weapons, then maybe talk about the ins that we've got.
Oh,
'cause
Blaze, how long do we have? I mean,
Well,
you've
we're
got
trying to get under
everything.
an
You got
hour
Tyreek
tonight,
Hill,
mate.
You got Kelsey, you got Watkins, you got Mecole Hardman who's going to make the jump. He's the breakout player.
Yep, love Mecole.
There's just stars everywhere.
And then on the
Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to be Rookie of the Year. That's almost a fact.
Wowee.
It's just like they're going to be so good.
And then the defense, which was suspect for most of last year,
No, the defense is not suspect. That's
came into its own at the end of last
That's
year.
crap.
I think.
All the analysts that don't reckon this defense is a good defense, morons. Absolute
Right.
morons.
Right.
Overpaid morons.
Overpaid morons that don't know half as much as what Slammer does. Tyrann Mathieu, gun.
Jet.
Frank Clark, gun. Chris Jones, gun. I could keep going.
Dirty Dan, baby.
Dirty Dan.
We love Dirty
He's
Dan.
okay.
That's probably the most
Like,
level-headed
there are
comment
just
he's made.
there's superstars everywhere. Picked up Willie Gay in the draft. If that's not the best name, I don't know what is. Linebacker out of Mississippi State. He's gonna be a gun.
You can tell we love our Chiefs, but Schnazi, maybe bring us down to earth a little bit here. Have you got much to
14
say?
and 2, Blaze. 14 and 2.
Have you got
I
much
have-
to say about the Chiefs
So-
that hasn't been said already?
The worst part about these two going for the Chiefs is I'm the ultimate bandwagon fan and I can't bandwagon the Chiefs. I can't. Every
There's no
single
room.
day. I think I've said it before. I walk home in the morning. See, Pat Mahomes got married? Pat Mahomes just threw a behind the back ball. Every morning.
Oh, Pat Mahomes
sick
just
of
got a $500 million contract for the next 12 years.
Just bought a sporting team.
yeah, well, why not?
So,
Why not?
With that being said, what do you got him going?
I can't say a bad word about them.
'Cause there's
14
nothing
and
to be
2.
said. 14 and 2.
The fans, we said the line 12.5. They
Yeah,
said
the fans get
64%
it.
over. But the question I have, and it's going to get shut down.
Okay.
I'm a little bit concerned, and I'm getting concerned with the amount of times that Pat Mahomes hobbles to the sidelines.
No worries.
I am getting concerned. There is an awful lot of time
Bloke's
that
made
he
of steel.
He missed,
hops up,
he missed 4 games last year.
prances around, and goes, I think I'm injured again. Send me back out there, and then comes back off and says, I'm no good. It's happening a lot.
The sample size
What are
surely
you talking about?
surely isn't large enough for that kind of comment yet.
Well, he gets hit a lot.
What
That's
injuries
the
are you
point.
talking about?
How many games did he play last year? Or how many did he miss last year?
3. With a dislocated knee.
Ooh.
We're
That's a
trying
great
to-
injury to have, isn't it?
We're trending towards dead silence, and I don't want to continue down that path.
He missed 3 games.
I'm starting to question his durability. There's a lot of times that he has been hit and he has hobbled off to the sidelines, and the
He
medicos
took a
have been
big
around
hit. He
him.
did take a big hit in the Super Bowl.
He's prone to taking
Yeah, and then he
big
got
hits.
up and said, good hit. And then he said, you can't hit me. You got to kill me.
You can't say that, but when the dislocated knee, you won't be playing.
He won't be able to walk.
But no, so I love Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs,
Patrick Mahomes is the best
unreal,
player in football.
best team in the league.
Yeah.
But if I'm gonna have to bring these boys a reality check, it's gonna be he gets hit a lot and he.
There is no reality check.
You're trying to pull Neil Armstrong off the moon right now.
There was in the AFC Championship. In the AFC Championship game, he ran through 7 Titans on his way to the end zone. The bloke's made of something different.
You've just given a guy a $500 million contract for 10 years, and the amount of times I've seen him hobble off to the sidelines is concerning me.
12 years wasn't long enough either.
I'm not. I can't just sit here and go, Chiefs are the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
Well, they pretty much are. So I need to bring some sort of opposing view.
Oh, I appreciate the
but
fact
last year,
You're a Mahomes hater.
he's not.
You hate
I don't
Mahomes.
think he's a Mahomes hater.
I hate
And
Christmas.
we apologise, listeners, if you've got your earphones in, you just heard.
if you hate Mahomes, you hate Christmas. And I most certainly do not hate Christmas.
You're the Kansas City Grinch.
Christmas is good. I think we have nothing but love for Kansas City, and I think even Schnars is suggesting that he too has love. He's just trying to offer a contrasting opinion, so this doesn't turn into
it's
one
wrong.
almighty kind of
I'll give you this,
eat,
though.
pray, love circle over the Kansas City Chiefs.
Travis Kelce isn't the best football player in his family.
That's what that note was about. We were wondering what that was off air.
I'm walking out.
You're not walking
I'm
down.
walking out, Lace. I will not sit here and take that. That is just the most crap, unsubstantiated fact I have ever heard.
He
Jason
is a
Ke- Jason
three-time
Kelce.
first-team All-Pro Bowler.
Jason Kelce plays
I
centre for
don't
the
give
Philadelphia
a rat's.
Eagles, and Schnars is suggesting that centre is better than Travis.
You'd rather have a centre than a tight end. The best tight end in the league.
He's not the best tight end.
He's
in
the
league.
best tight end
No, he's
in
not.
the league.
Didn't really realise his last name was Kittle and rhyme with Stuart Little.
What does the rhyming have to do with anything? He is better than Kittle. In today's NFL, you would rather have a pass-catching tight end than a blocking tight end.
Well, if I was going to have a
And he is
pass-catching
the best
tight end, I'd have
pass-
Robert Gronkowski.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, what was his name?
Robert Gronkowski.
Oh, okay. Second
Mike
time's a
Wazowski.
charm.
Mike Wazowski is playing tight end.
Jason Kelce, his record
Oh,
as a centre in this league.
I'm not even.
I think
no.
Jason Kelce is a fantastic
Oh,
centre.
he's great.
but-
I'm not downplaying that Jason Kelce can play.
Well, you just
but
said he
that is
sucks.
just-
But
no,
you said he sucks.
compared to Travis.
But at Thanksgiving in the Kelce house, I don't think the old man's clapping Jason as he walks in.
No,
It's
no.
just- it's Travis.
Wait,
Oh, Travis is
Let me
here.
say this.
Travis.
Right, if Jason Kelce...
Oh, he would have been because
Look, if
Jason won
Jason-
a Super Bowl first. And he's a three-time All-Pro.
Don't care. If Jason Kelce walks into a bar, half the people in America aren't going to know. Travis Kelce walks in, everybody's head turns.
You have been,
Yeah, probably because
Here
he
comes
walks in with Patty Mahomes.
Zeus.
You have just purely set this up to get him going, and it's work.
Yeah.
It's just work. Let's move on.
Do you want to talk about the ins? Okay, there's not a lot of ins because there's not a lot of money going around.
All right. Well, let's get
we
it.
got-
Because all the money's gone to one person.
Let's get through it quickly because our time is expiring.
We picked up Taco Charlton from Miami. He's 25
I
years
like
old,
Taco.
and it's actually a good get because
Really
hasn't
good
cost
ma-
us much,
Really good mates with Frank Clark
and
on
he
the other
could
side.
take off.
Really good
So-
mates with Frank Clark from college, I believe. So
Oh, there you go.
they'll be on each side coming in hot.
Well, that's awesome.
So obviously, got Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Willie Gay in the draft. Lost Kendall Fuller, Ogba, LaShawn McCoy, the running back, and Reggie Ragland. But really,
Nothing really there.
Let's just
Nothing
jump
really
change. Jump change the Super Bowl champions. But Madden are in my sights again, Blaze.
Oh, look out, Madden. Here we go.
This might be the worst one. Frank the Shark Clark,
5-5, no offside.
5'5" and not offside. 83.
Probably about right.
An 83.
83 is
That
low.
is-
That's low.
Wrong.
Frank the
I
Shark.
think when they were putting these numbers in, they've accidentally typed an 8 instead of a 9.
You
He should be a 93.
Yeah, he's a jet. He's
You
a
watch
jet.
every single playoff game from last year, he ended every single one with a sack. Last play of the game, sack. Frank the Shark Clark. When he smells blood in the water,
It's over.
get out of the way, mate.
It's over. Hey, I like the Chiefs, and that much is just
That's an understatement.
that is just critically obvious. But hey, there's a team that's floating around, probably in the playoff spot in the AFC West, which I'm also quite interested in, not in a likable kind of way, because obviously a division
hate 'em.
rival. But the Broncos provide a little bit of an interesting, as we mentioned before, a narrative. And that's a team that had a quarterback last year that came in with, I think, 5 or 6 games to go. And really,
Won 4 of the last 5.
run 4 of the last 5 and really kind
Only
of
lost
lit
to
it
the
up.
Chiefs.
His name is Drew Lock.
Drew Lock. Out of
Von,
Missouri.
Von Miller came out during the week and called him, I think, a rock star or something alike, which, I don't know, Drew Lock doesn't remind me heaps of a rock star. He
Lock's
looks-
a rock star.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, he's got a bit going on. They've also got Jerry Jeudy in there, off the draft board there, who
Yep.
a lot of people would say he was the best receiver in that class. I wouldn't necessarily agree,
No,
but
I
a
don't
lot
agree,
of people
but that's
a lot of people do say that.
Picked up some pretty good ins in the free agency.
Run
as
us
well,
through
Blaze.
them, Chucky.
So
and
picked
then,
up AJ Bouye, the cornerback out of Jacksonville.
Yep.
Because they were having that fire sale.
Yep,
Picked
Big
up
wonder I don't remember anyone who's playing for Jacksonville anymore because they're all gone.
Yeah.
There's no one there.
If
yeah.
anyone picks Jacksonville on Madden as their team,
Good luck. I put money on
I
them.
don't
to
know.
go-
I want what you were having the night before.
I put money on Jacksonville to go 0-16 on our good friend Sportsbets app. So, as well as AJ Bouye, they picked up Jarrell Casey, the defensive lineman out of Tennessee. They
Yep.
picked up Melvin Gordon, the running back out of Denver. And then they picked up Glasgow, the guard out of Detroit on a $44 million 3-year deal.
So that suggests, Chucky, they like what they see with what they've got and they want to build on it.
Yeah,
And
and
push.
it also says, holy crap, we're scared of the Chiefs. Better go out and get a cornerback, a defensive lineman, and a running back.
You get a bit
And then
of
we
this.
better spend our first 2 picks in the draft on wide receivers because we're going to need to score a hell of a lot of points to keep
Going
up
the
with
other
Pat.
way.
So
Yeah.
they spent pick 15 on, obviously, Jerry Jeudy, the wide receiver out of Alabama, and then KJ Hamler, the wide receiver out of Penn State as well.
Yep. So
And they've still got Cortland Sutton, obviously, who is my breakout player as
Deshaun
well.
Hamilton as well, I believe, who's a pretty handy, like, number 4 kind
Okay.
of link man.
Yeah.
Obviously, you didn't love that one, did you?
No. So Cortland Sutton's my breakout player because I think he's had to do a lot of the grunt work there recently, and I think he'll probably end up being their wide receiver 2 this year because I think that's probably how good Jerry Jeudy is going to be. So he'll get a lot less double teams and things like that. So I think he could be in for a massive year,
The deeper you bat at wide receiver, the better.
especially if you're playing in the division with the Chiefs.
You can stretch your offense. You can really you got multiple options that you can throw to. You're less predictable, and I think that could prove to be the case for the Houston Texans. I know we've already been over them before, but I think the wider you can go,
The deeper you bat at that sort of position, the better.
yeah, it makes you more unpredictable, which in turn can make you a better offense.
Unless you're trading away.
Spreading the field.
The
Nuke.
nuke, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So that's probably where
Don't start me on that
That's probably where they fall
So I
over a little
think
bit.
to provide a bit of context for those out there who are not too familiar with the Broncos and Drew Lock, came in with the last 5 games of last year,
Yep.
won 4,
Yep.
and as Slam mentioned, lost to the Chiefs. So
Yeah.
promising.
Yeah, really promising.
They look like they're
Yeah.
trending up. They're in a division where
He does look really good.
Yeah, he does.
He actually does.
He looks like he can.
got a
do something.
First
Real
year-
steal in the draft.
Yeah.
First year
Yeah.
tight end Noah Fant down there showed a little bit towards the tail end as well with him. So on that
Yeah.
tight end
So I think-
thought process.
Are we matching? Oh, we are matching here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
10 and 6 and second in the West.
you got to love that bit of synergy from the fellas.
56% from the fans for over 8.5.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Which is good. There's not.
But I think a lot of people wouldn't know about all those ins and stuff for Denver, so you wouldn't be seeing
Denver,
that jump
they're
coming
probably-
this
they're
year.
Plus
probably
the
that
attitude.
smoky.
Don't really. If you don't understand the geography of America either, you don't
Yeah.
understand the attitude
They
they
do
play
have,
in.
yeah, that is a good point you bring up there,
Especially
Schnars.
in
They
a
do have
short-
a massive home
in a shortened
home
preseason
advantage.
as well, where you haven't been able to do all the yards that you normally do.
Yeah.
You know, run the laps and the like. So
Does COVID even survive at that kind of altitude up at Mile High?
I'm pretty confident. I spoke to Elon Musk yesterday, and he said it's not real.
Good.
Okay,
Good.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, as well, looking at that division,
Unsubstantiated facts.
Facts. There they are again.
the chart we did the whole we predicted the whole season.
Yep.
You know, it would have been a month and a half ago,
Yep.
2 months ago,
Yeah.
and we had them being the second best team in the AFC West.
Yep.
Then we both had the Chargers, then the Raiders. So we don't foresee much happening with the Raiders this year. The
No.
Chargers we liked, but as
Yeah.
time goes on, we're liking less and less and less. I think
Yeah.
Derwin James was out. So
Derwin James is out for the year, which is
I feel like-
And
only
you've
come
got
out
that
this
Justin
week.
Herbert, Tyrod Taylor
Yeah.
thing going
Yeah.
on.
So I
there,
think
which
they're the second best team in the division, easily now. I would
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
which gives them that 4 wins. They probably lose the two to the Chiefs, or they do lose the 2
Yeah.
to the
Yeah.
Chiefs.
I'd expect them probably still to split with the Chargers, and I'd expect them to beat the Raiders probably.
yeah.
Yeah,
Which it should be good enough for probably a playoff spot. With
Yeah,
the,
I've got them making the playoffs.
with the extended format, with an extra, I think is an extra 1 slot in the
Yeah,
wild card.
seven-
Chucky?
seven-
yeah,
yeah.
seven.
Yeah.
each.
So,
So
that
14
probably,
of 32 teams will make the playoffs this year.
yeah, where they
Yeah.
might not have previously, they probably do sneak in. And
Yeah.
I think they're another one that. I mean, this is why we love these 2 divisions. I think we saved them for last because every team I think you could watch on any given day and find something to be interested in.
I'm going
With
to
the
call you
excep-
out there
with the
because
exception
Yeah, the West is best.
of the Raiders.
even the Chargers last year playing with Old Man Rivers.
I think the Chargers
Yeah.
could be interesting.
I think the Chargers are interesting.
Let's talk about the Chargers.
Let's go straight into the
Yeah.
Chargers. So I had them 10 and 6. Schnars had them 9 and 7.
Yeah.
Now we set the line at 8.5 today, and 69% of people said under.
Yeah.
Now I can understand that because now this week, so yeah, as Schnars
been a few
alluded to
changes.
before,
Yeah.
from when we did this a month ago, they've now lost Derwin James for the year, and that he's a massive piece. But I do still think they've got a really good complete team. Like they've got a lot of players that they bat really deep at almost every position.
Yeah.
Like, they should be a really good team. Quarterback has let them down definitely for the last 2 years because Rivers was turning the ball over so much. So, hopefully they can turn around. They did pick up Chris Harris, the
good-
cornerback out
good
of Denver
corner.
as well, which is pretty good. They did shore up the offensive line as well because obviously they were worried about Chris Jones and
Yeah,
Frank Clark.
Balaga is one of the names there, I
yeah,
think.
yeah,
He's a quite
Balaga
a
and
handy-
Turner. They did a straight swap.
As far
Trade
as
Turner for
guards,
someone-
as far as guards go, who are a bit of a dime a dozen,
Yeah.
he's probably one
Yeah.
of those top tier kind of guys.
So picked up those three players, which is pretty good. And they lost Rivers and they lost Gordon, but they weren't really getting much out of Rivers. And even
Gordon was
Gordon last
holding
year
it.
wasn't doing much for them. So
Looking back at it now with the Chargers, I think if you wanted to keep Rivers for one more year in a shortened preseason, Herbert's going to be the man. He's going to be the man, but he's not going to start as the man.
Yeah.
No.
You're going to start Tyrod Taylor.
I think Tyrod gives you a better chance to win than Phil does.
No, wait.
I know.
No, wait.
No, but
Not buying that for one
Now
moment.
we are pressed for time before you launch into your Tyrod Cam Newton comparison.
No, I'm not going to get into that.
Yeah.
But I say he gives them a better chance to win because that offensive line, even though they've done a bit to shore it up here, as we just spoke about, he can get out of the pocket more and he can escape more, and he's much more nimble and quick on his feet than Rivers was. That's why Rivers was getting sacked.
We're talking about a starting quarterback as a journeyman on the bench. And a journeyman on the bench, sorry.
Yeah, no, I think
There's no
I
way
think
Tyrod Taylor gives you a better chance to win than Phil
Right,
Rivers.
Blaze, he's making me do it.
Otherwise, Indianapolis would have tied Tyrod Taylor over Phil Rivers.
Over the last 3 years,
I tried to save it. Sorry, fans.
Tyrod's statistics are pretty much par on with Cam Newton.
And then how's that gone for Cam?
Yeah, but we're talking about a bloke that was MVP.
But you cannot compare Cam Newman.
Tyrod got your Buffalo to the postseason.
I tried to stop.
Yeah, but that was the defense.
I'm sorry, fans.
Nah.
This is ridiculous. Tyrod Taylor would have not sitting on benches, get beaten out by Baker Mayfield. All of these. God,
He didn't get beat out by Baker Mayfield. He won the starting job over Baker
Oh
Mayfield.
yeah, because
and
you
then got
always
injured.
win it in your first year. Just like
then
he's
got
got a
injured.
winner over Herbert.
He got injured.
He's got a winner over Herbert.
All right,
because
gentlemen.
Getting off track though, Tyrod
put
Taylor
your-
gives them a better chance to win than Phil Rivers
No
does,
way.
based on the fact that he can get out of the pocket.
No way.
Gentlemen.
Well, if that's not true, why'd they move Phil on and bring in Tyrod?
Well, why didn't Indy just go out and sign Tyrod instead of Phil?
Because Indy have got a good O-line. They don't need to do
Gentlemen, put your swords away. God damn.
No, Tyrod sucks. And he's a gatekeeper, and by round 5, he'll be gone, and Herbert will be the man.
I don't even want to talk about the
I'm not going to
Chargers.
compare Cam Newton to a guy that's going to be replaced after 5 games.
All right, Raiders.
No, hang on. We haven't finished.
We are finished.
No, my breakout's good here.
You've blown half your time
No. We've
having a bitch fit.
Jerry Tillery from Notre Dame on the D-line. I think he was their first round pick last year. 17 tackles, 2 sacks. Only played 36% game time. Look for that to seriously increase this year and him to potentially be a breakout star on
Duly
that defensive
noted.
line.
If you're on Madden, snap him up cheap and watch him go.
Played more game time than Tyrod over the last few years as well.
Jesus. Oakland Raiders, no more. Las Vegas Raiders with no one in the stadium due to COVID restrictions.
Brand new shiny
Home of
stadium.
Darren Waller.
I don't know how many people... Yeah, that's right. I don't know how many people are that interested in the Raiders, and I think we'll be able to...
Vegas.
Oh, if we're talking about aesthetics, their new stadium in the skyline of Las Vegas, that a black stadium is beautiful.
Does it look sick?
Oh,
Yeah.
it is unreal. And in their season member tickets, they gave them this because obviously the games.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that looked like the mini stadium. They'd open it up.
It's
and
almost
it
like a
had
holographic
Yeah,
type
yeah.
situation.
Oh, the
You know
aesthetics of that.
You know
Very
what
cool.
that stadium looks like, Blaze? A big toilet bowl where they're going to take a heap of dumps because they suck.
What the What's wrong with you?
This is one of those self-flushing, self-seat up-down type stadiums. It's a really good stadium.
You blokes have lost the plot.
It's a shithole.
It's not a...
The fans, we put it out to the fan. I'm gonna steady this ship. The fans, we asked them 4.5 over or under, and 71% said under, which
No.
is not
No, they said
No, they said over.
okay. I wasn't reading it correctly. They said over, which I still think is probably incorrect. I
it's
think
wrong.
I think they're probably going to struggle to get around that mark. But hey, Sam, maybe go through what you reckon, and then Schnazi, you can take us out.
So, bought in Mariota, boring. Witten, boring. They bought in Nasib, the defensive end from Tampa Bay.
Jeez, boss.
And then they bought in Corey Littleton, which is probably the most interesting
good
one for
get,
that one.
yeah.
The inside linebacker from the Rams. I know a good deal there. Also did pick up Nelson Aguilar. Whether he can get his career back on track to some extent
Probably
could be
a
interesting.
Out of the Eagles?
A depth
Yeah.
a depth receiver that could offer a little bit in a
No,
in
really.
a room that doesn't have heaps of
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
No.
Especially after
AB.
Amari left and all that.
Yeah. Oh, and Murray too.
So no real outs to speak of that were interesting at all. The draft was at least a little bit interesting. They picked up Ruggs. They take him. They did. They took him as the first wide receiver off the
Yeah,
board,
pick
which is
el-
interesting
pick
with
11 or
CD and
something.
Jerry still there, 12.
Yeah, 12.
Yeah, and then they picked up Arnett, the cornerback out of Ohio State, at pick 19 as well.
They went to the draft. They had a strategy, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, they let Cooper go, and whatever happened with Antonio Brown happened.
Yeah,
But they had a strategy.
I don't know that the Las Vegas Raiders had heaps to do with what happened with Antonio Brown.
no.
They had to make the call,
doing
but I
his
think
own
he
stuff.
kind of was the captain of that shit, wasn't he?
Yep.
Anyway.
The breakout here is interesting. So I got Cleveland Farrell, the bloke they took at pick 4 the year before as well. Obviously, he got outshadowed a fair bit because Josh Jacobs had a great year, who they drafted after him, and also Max Crosby, who they drafted at like 10, had a better year
Good
on the
running
defensive
back,
line as
Jacobs.
well.
Yeah. Josh Jacobs
definitely.
is going to be good.
So he had 38 tackles, 4.5 sacks, and 5 pass breakups.
Deflections, yeah.
At a
hands.
Clemson. Yeah.
That was that one.
But so like for a pick 4, that's not really what you'd be expecting for a top 5 pick. You'd be hoping for more than that.
Yeah.
And obviously it was a bit of a shock when they did take him at pick 4. But I think everybody
every chance to come
everybody
on.
at Vegas would be hoping he's going to be their breakout player for this year. So
Have you got a
that's
Madden
where I've
Shea
gone.
for the Raiders to try and wrap us up?
I do. It's not my best one, but I just didn't like it because I think the kid can play, and I like him. Out of Clemson, I think last year as well, Hunter Renfro.
Oh no, he was really serviceable last
Really
year.
serviceable.
Very handy.
Missed 4 games.
Very handy.
So he's rated a 74, just for those out there wanting to know. So he had 49 receptions, 605 yards, and 4 touchdowns, whilst missing 4 games.
Good numbers.
And really only got going the back half
He
of
was
the year.
huge as well at Clemson. Just like any
Yeah.
time they look down the field and
Had a
like
couple of 100-yard games.
He was
Plays
just-
the slot really well.
Yeah.
I think he could be a Julian Edelman sort of type in the future, and I think I really like him.
doesn't
I think
get too deep though. Normally, those short crossing routes.
Yeah.
You're always fine in there. He was a gun at Clemson. I was a bit worried.
I
was
think
like,
he might have actually caught the national title, like winning touchdown
He may
for
have.
Clemson. I actually think he did.
he was very serviceable, and there was a lot of
T-Law? Or was that before his time?
no.
Might-
That
yeah.
would have been his last year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it
would've
would have
been
been
Trevor.
senior.
Yeah, Taylor's first year, and yeah.
Anyways, I think Raiders. I'm all about John Gruden. I love John Gruden. Great personality.
Yeah.
I
he's a good-
think
he's a good teammate
hilarious.
He's good. He's
personality.
good
Who's
for NFL.
their owner as well? That fella who looks fucking
Chucky.
stood at the bowl cart. Yeah, Chucky. Man.
Our Davis' son, I can't remember what
Yeah.
Davis' son's, but our Davis is the heart and soul of the Raiders. Just win, baby. That's the Raiders.
Yeah. I like that.
But yeah,
I think
I like him. I like him for a few years' time. I don't like him this year.
fair enough. too.
Probably won't like him next year.
And me and Chucky, we're never going to like the Raiders. But
before we sign out on
Yeah.
the end of 4 divisions worth, Schnars, Super Bowl tip. Who's playing and who's winning?
I don't mind this.
Oh, just the real early call.
Yeah.
I think
the
I
early
mentioned
crow.
it earlier. I'm still hot on the Niners and Chiefs.
All right.
So you go Niners, Chiefs?
You're seeing a replay type situation. Who are you picking? You reckon the Chiefs go back or you?
No, I reckon Pat Mahomes breaks his leg in the first quarter. They
Wow.
trade Jason Kelsey for Travis, and Jimmy Garoppolo's for us to 500 yards
You're
and 4 touchdowns.
you didn't take that seriously at all. You're clowning.
We had
You're
55
clowning.
minutes of great stuff, and then he's dropped that.
He's just clowning.
So
Chucky, your pick?
I've got the Chiefs once again running it back. I've got them winning all again.
And surely you've got Dallas going to.
No, not even close. I got the Seahawks.
Okay.
I actually think on my season predictor, I had Dallas going against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
But, that was
Well, maybe you should have thought about that when I asked you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Pat Mahomes breaking his leg's pretty funny.
So I've got the 2 best quarterbacks dueling it out, and I think Pat Mahomes gets the better of Russ.
The only way that'd be funny is if you like seeing 2 grown men crying. Because that's exactly what we'd be doing.
Well, you saw that last year, mid last quarter.
correct. Yeah.
What have you got, Blaze?
3/4 time. Hey, I am a neutral observer for the most part, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't think the Chiefs were going. And I've got a fair bit of time for the Seattle Seahawks as well. I think without sitting on the fence, which is what that kind of comes
No,
across
the echo
like.
in the room's good.
Jamal Adams going in there.
Yeah, huge.
I think if you want to build a star defense, that guy's been wallowing in New York for however many years he's been
Since
in
he
the league.
was drafted.
And he is a certified stud, and I'm a massive believer that those strong safety players that can kind of almost be the jack of all trades and go place to place and fill the role, not dissimilar to the way Matthew does for the Chiefs.
Tyrann Mathieu was voted as the Chiefs MVP last season.
and
by the
for
players.
good reason. So I think
He came in and completely changed the defense.
I thought the Seahawks were pretty stiff last year.
Loves Twitter as well.
Anyway.
Oh, speaking of Twitter.
Don't forget, if Seattle got 1 extra yard in the last game of last year against the Niners and got the touchdown instead of getting stopped at the 1 yard line, they would have won the division and they would have had home field advantage. And
Wasn't to be.
And that was not what I was talking about on Twitter either.
Go with the Twitter.
But is it Sergeant or Colonel Mahomes? No, Captain
Mahomes, yeah.
Captain Mahomes. If you're on Twitter, follow that, and it's the best. You'll get a laugh every week.
It is value. It is absolute
It is
value.
hilarious.
I think that was a steal from, they had Captain Luck. That was where that started, but obviously that's stopped
yeah.
now.
Yeah, that stopped
Yeah.
pretty quickly.
Yeah, very abruptly. But hey,
But it is good for
Just
us.
like his career.
it does kind of loosely tie into a bit of a transition because I think we're pretty happy with
Wrap it up.
all our divisions here, and I think we've done a pretty good job for our first go-round, fellas, without patting
pretty happy
ourselves on
with
the back too hard. I've had a great time talking all things divisional football, and I'm hanging out.
Someone will pick that up later.
Oh, of course. Well, it's not our house. No. At some stage, we are going to get to watch football again, and it's not as far away as you might think.
Friday.
So
Can't wait.
that's really exciting. We're all keen as a bean. To recap the night quickly, AFC West, I think we're consensus picking the Chiefs to take that out.
Yep.
The Broncos might be around the mark in the playoff wildcard spot, if not a little bit higher if they get lucky. The Chargers might threaten 2, and the Raiders are still a little bit of a way off.
Yep.
But building, they've got some of these interesting pieces and players there to work with. NFC West, consensus pick for the most entertaining division in football.
Yep.
49ers, Rams, Cardinals, and Seahawks. Take your pick.
It's going to be seriously
It's
one
going to
to
be a
watch.
really hard one. I think the 49ers and the Seahawks, for me, and I think you too, Chucky, are going to be too strong. But the Cardinals could really surprise people. And the Rams, you can't write them off because they have pedigree and they've got superstar talent
That
everywhere.
division could go any way. Wouldn't shock me. Would not shock me.
And so that's the lie of the land, boys. And we're keen to get into it and start seeing where these chips kind of start to fall. Speaking of, we'll be keeping you updated when we're not, going live, chatting to you boys like this, all over our socials.
Yep.
So we are going to be just pumping that out. We are just edging closer to the game starting. We're really keen to be able to pretty much get in your ear most days and just give you a little tidbits of our best bits and really keep you connected to all things NFL from that Australian perspective, which I think is just, if nothing else, we bring a little bit of dry humour and a bit of quick wit to the table, which is always appreciated.
And a different opinion.
And a different opinion, of course. Facebook and Instagram, as we always say, Slim Slam and the Bandwagon Fan. Likewise with YouTube and Spotify. Give us a follow or subscribe on those two platforms, because that kind of support as we start to move into a space where we want to grow and reach a market that maybe we can't reach just yet with our local fans that are just so committed. And I mean, we've just had so much love from all the boys, and I just think that's got to be the key point there. So that's all there is there. I'd mentioned the Twitter, but we don't really have heaps going on the Twitter just yet. So we've got to maybe have a look at getting someone on board for that one.
Up.
Throw us out, Slammer.
Yep. We'll
He's
see you
been
later.
Slam. I've been Slam. That's the Bandwagon Fan. Good night.
Thanks, boys.